Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good afternoon, all. Ira Epstein of Lynn & Associates with your metals market update, and this is for Monday, the 28th of August, 2017. The time getting on to 2:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Before I get too far, let me start off by saying my thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Texas. I happen to have gone to college in Arizona, and I know the area, know Texas pretty well, been to Dallas, Houston, and a lot of other areas, in fact, and love the people, love the state. So sorry to see all that. All right, let's get to the metal markets. As you can see in looking at all this, we have a marketplace that right now has got the gold market attempting a good move to the upside. I'm not prepared to say it's a breakout, by the way. It's a good move to the upside. I think it's happening because the market was very disappointed with what took place at Jackson Hole. Neither Mr. Draghi nor Ms. Yellen made any groundbreaking speeches. We were looking for Mr. Draghi to say that he thought the euro was overpriced. Well, the market today went up, just hit nearly 120. He didn't make that statement. Obviously, in the dollar index, we saw nothing new. In fact, it was a pretty boring speech from Ms. Yellen, if you think about it, for a person of her stature that may not come back, depends what the president decides in February or earlier. I just think I was looking for a little bit more. That's all. I think she's more than capable, by the way. Now, another problem. What do we do about the upcoming debt ceiling? It would not surprise me that when everybody gets back, all attention turns to Hurricane Harvey, the damage, those type of thoughts, and maybe they'll ask for an extension. It's very possible to get another 90 days so they can get things haggled. I don't know if the president will accept that or not because he wants things done, and this could be where he presses, I want my things, you want yours, let's get it done. But the market is looking at that in a strange way. It's putting pressure on the dollar. Stock indices, well, I think you're probably down in the Dow and the S&P more because of the energy complex, which took a hit today in price because of Hurricane Harvey. But that could be a very temporary measure. Let's go to the gold chart and get a feel for what's going on. Without question, this is the first day of a good attempt over the 1,300 level, but it's day one. Your market's about $11 over it in the front contract of gold. This is not December gold. It's a weekly chart, so it'll be the nearby contract. So something to keep your mind on there. There's certainly nothing bearish on that. When we go to an area chart of closes in the D's gold, after the small correction, you've gone from 1287 back up today, and you're going to close around the 1315.30 area. 90 is going to be close, but I think it's 1315.30 was the actual settlement price. Still good action. What you don't want to see is coming back down here into the low 1290s to break everything you've got. In fact, I'm going to go even further. I'm going to say that this big rally that we had on Friday from 1280, let's take a look at that low, 1281.30 is probably key to the market. That was an outside day up. It shouldn't be taken out in the next 2 days after it occurs. It wasn't done today. You had further follow through breaking out. What bothers me on the chart is I don't have a trend. I've got a pattern of lower low, higher high. It's the first thing. I wish I would have got here with the higher lows, higher highs. I'd be very excited. Let's also take a look at moving averages. What you did on Friday is you fell back to the 18-day average of closes, held it, and then took off to the upside. That is bullish, as has been each of the recent tests of that low. So can't get away from that for the bulls. What about upside potential? Well, this is why I'm reining in my enthusiasm. Your day one over the upper Bollinger Band of 1312.80. Doesn't mean you can't have a couple of days over it, as much as 5 or so, but you're in borrowed territory. That doesn't mean you have to pull back. You can go much higher before you get to the right-hand side of it. But to be a buyer over an upper Bollinger Band, well, that's something in my charting course I teach never to do. When I take a look at the slow stochastic, I'm just overbought. Both numbers are not over 80. That means you cannot even begin the embedding process to the earliest of tomorrow. And we'll see if that occurs. A good pullback in the market might prevent it altogether. This has kept me very bothered. And I see a lot of the notes that people write on the YouTube, and you're noticing the same things I have. You do know we've had upside bias, at least I have had here, because you've been over the 18-day average of closes. That doesn't mean I'm not bothered by that overbought condition. When we come to the GLD ETF, as you can see, we've got the market coming down to the 18-day average on Friday, right up to the upper Bollinger Band. This is your resistance level, folks. The upper Bollinger Band's 124.33 or 124.56. By the way, I am working with our quote vendor right now to get in Bitcoin quotes and some of the other cryptocurrencies that we have. They finally gave me the quotes, but I don't have the charts that I can bring up. My machine's at least bringing in now the daily quotes. In the GDX, again, up and over the upper Bollinger Band, but let's take a look here. Both numbers on this chart are over 80. They're over 80 on Friday. They weren't the day before. You can embed as early as tomorrow. What about this chart? Can't do it, okay? So you've got to wait and see what happens, but at least the strongest are the miners. When we come to the gold-silver ratio, the fact that the number is dropping is going to possibly have to see where the final settlement is today. If it breaks through this level, right actually here, I'm going to say you're back into a down thrust where silver's gaining on gold. I need to get to the final price. Silver market is clearly at a resistance point. I'm in the D silver. I switched over last week. You have a lower low, a higher high. Run your 200-day moving average of closes in this chart. I'll try to put it up maybe tomorrow if I can remember it. You're right up to that number. Again, we're at some crucial numbers. Also, keep your eye. The 18-day average is getting ready to cross over the 100-day. So other than it being overbought and not trending, there's a lot of momentum trying to go to work to the upside. You have to be bothered by the upper Bollinger Band because it's done such an effective job in the past stopping rallies in this market when it does get hit. That doesn't mean you can't do what you did here. Ride the darn thing down and then embed. That's happened, and you can do the flip-flop here. There's nothing to be bearish on. The question is how bullish. Copper, still very bullish. Trying, in fact, to give us day one, let's call today a day, of both numbers over 80, and both numbers were over 80 on Friday. They were not both that way on Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be very important if it embeds or not, so I'll be looking at it. Again, if you're trying to get long here, it's giving you no break and you got to buy an upper Bollinger Band. I just throw my hands away. In the platinum market, resistance is the upper Bollinger Band at 992.90. The market took out an outside day downs high. When you do that, you normally go to the closest of a key moving average. There are none under it, so the Bollinger Band's my resistance point. Pretty close, I'd say, $1 away so far. In the palladium market, fully embedded. Very friendly. This is the strongest of the metals. I realize you're going to say it's not up like the gold and the silver today. Friends, it's led the whole way up. It can afford to sit back and take a breath if it wants. Next objective, if it continues to rally, could be the upper Bollinger Band. Momentum until you lose the red line under 80. I think the bulls just keep control of the market. Dollar index. When we did not see anything positive come out of Ms. Yellen in the way of raising interest rates, game was pretty much over on the dollar. It lost the idea of a bid, and the market came down on Friday, followed through today. You had the flip-flop, by the way, in the euro currency. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So now the question is, what do you do with all this? Well, one of the things you want to do when you get these action plays like these, such as in the palladium market and other markets, is know where your price counts are going. Now, I've warned you that we were taking out price counts going in a daily email to people. That's no longer the case. It is. They're gone. So if you're looking every day, if you had been on our free list for 2 years running for some of you, now where we've put it inside our trading platforms, we have 2 platforms. One's called QT, the other is called our LGP. One is Java-based, one is window-based. And we have just wrapped it into the news in there. So if you don't have access to our platforms, it's probably time you make a decision if you want these features, our news, and so on. That's a way to get it. How do you get it? Give us a call, 866-973-2077. You can go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you haven't tried one of our platforms, sign up for a free trial to it. You can always click up here if you're watching me on YouTube. The icons are again working, by the way. And underneath us on a number of websites, it says click here for Ira's free offers. Click that, choose what you want. We'll be happy to get it to you. The best way to get this, give us a phone call and let us work with you on getting that set up for you. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.